So, my friends, we are touching on a few very relevant topics as far as your cost of living is concerned. I reiterate again, your cost of living is going to skyrocket under this government, under the newly elected government. Alright, you just mark my words. And you know, Singaporeans have made their choice for the next 5 years. You know, I wish the result had been different, but we live by it. This is a democracy. And I think in 5 years' time, you know, I hope that Singaporeans will not be fooled again by all this fear-mongering of the Trump tariffs into a flight of safety to the PAP. Because this was what the last election was all about, right? The PAP fear-mongered. And Singaporeans took fright and fled, supposedly to safety. Now, barely a month after the elections, what have the Trump tariffs amounted to? Nothing. Nothing. All right? So, you know, the PAP won a cheap victory, a hollow victory, but the proof of the eating is going to be the pudding. And we will see and we will judge how they do in the next 5 years. I think Singaporeans are going to be very disappointed. And in 5 years' time, I have a good feeling that the tables are going to change.
I think welcome to everybody who has just joined us. The reason why we are making this live video is because of the Attorney General demanding for $23,000, but there's still a shortfall about $67,000, which is why we are making this video. But another topic that residents have actually talked to us about, because this is actually Woodlink MRT station and they have a new transport system that's coming up. A lot of people complained to us just now during our walkabout is that why is it that SMRT and SBS, they are earning profit every single year and yet they still want to increase our public transport fare? 所以每年呢，新加坡的 SMRT、我们的地铁、我们的 SBS、我们的巴士，每年他们都赚取很多的利润，几百万。可是他们还是贪得无厌的不断的骑我们的车费。为什么要这样骑车费？ What is Singapore Transport Minister going to do inside Singapore Parliament to increase our bus fare continuously, our transport fare continuously, or are they going to help improve the lives of Singaporeans? Because they are earning profit every month, every year, and yet they are still collecting more and more bus fares and transport fare.
My friends, as a last topic, which I would like to address you in detail this morning, it is about jobs. It is a topic that I speak about non-stop, because a job to a person is the ultimate symbol of dignity. Alright, a person must have a job if he is to have any dignity. I am not saying that if you are not employed, you know, you have no dignity. Don't get me wrong. But the way to elevate a person's life, a way to make him feel that he's protecting his family, he's providing for them, is to make sure that he has a good job. And it is a sad thing that in modern day Singapore, more and more Singaporeans are losing their jobs. And it is not only people in their 40s or 50s. I have come across so many young Singaporeans now who are losing jobs in their 20s. About 2 months ago, I had a very enlightening dinner with a very enterprising young Singaporean businessman. He had graduated from the Polytechnic with a diploma, and he went straight into business. He started his own nutritional company. And I asked him, I would just call him P, I wouldn't give his real name. I said, P, why did you not get a job? Why did you go into business? You know, he said the eye-opener for me was when one of my friends, my cohorts, lost his job at 23. I said, what? Yeah, he said he lost his job to a foreigner at 23 years of age. And then he said, I thought it is wiser if I were to start a business, struggle, and then, but at least I am self-sufficient. I don't have to depend on others for a wage. And today, he is successful and he's building up his business, and I'm very, very happy for him. But my friends, this is one of PAR's cardinal principles, which we will never depart from, and which no other opposition party talks about. They can talk about various schemes of how to help Singapore workers and all that. But you know, the more schemes you come up with, the more you allow employers to game the system. You know, they came out with this fair consideration framework, which is total nonsense. All right, the employers put up an advert for two weeks. They say no qualified Singaporeans were found, and then they go off and hire foreign employees. Yeah, I will not be so lenient. In fact, under PAR, that employer has to show us, he has to show conclusive proof that there is no Singaporean in this country who is capable or willing of doing that job. All right? And you know, this is not a funny topic. This is not a topic for jokes. With the AI revolution now sweeping the world, all right, you are going to have fewer and fewer jobs availability. And do you even want those few jobs to go to foreigners? Yeah? You know, in the 90s, I'm old enough, in the 90s, America made an economic recovery. But they call that economic recovery the jobless recovery. Because even though the GDP started growing again, there were very few job openings. So, my friends, when Lawrence Wong tells you, oh, the GDP grew by 4.4%, don't take him at face value. Ask him, have your real wages grown in real terms? All right? Are there many more jobs for Singaporeans? Are there many more well-paying jobs for Singaporeans? And this is the other thing I want to talk about. You may talk about jobs, but don't come and tell me about low-paying jobs. All right? Those are jobs. They may keep a person going, but what I am interested in are well-paying jobs for Singaporeans. You know, if this trend in Singapore continues, we are going to have a phenomenon known as job polarization. That means you are going to have the very high-paying jobs, and you're going to have the very low-paying menial jobs, and everything in the middle basically disappears. Hilang, you know, the Malays says disappear. All right, and you need that critical middle category. All right, to keep your economy pumping, to keep prosperity going. We are in danger of losing a great many middle-class jobs for Singaporeans. Think about that and make sure this government looks after Singaporeans for jobs.
Hi everyone, so we have come to the end of what we have talked about today because we need to go and continue our walkabout already. 所以大家好，谢谢你们来早上起来就来看我们，然后等一下我们要去走我们的街访了。今天我们还会去很多不同的地方，然后很多老板也说好像Tanjong Pagar有哇啦哇啦，他讲说老板讲说要倒了，要关闭了，甚至是在海峡时报里面也有登出来。我们会去跟这里的人采访他们接下来的下一步会要做什么。So we will be continuing our walkabout. Thank you to everyone who woke up and watched us, and thank you to our volunteers who came down. As well as people who want to visit us later, to meet us later, you can just call us. Our contact numbers are online. You can let us know where you are, and we will tell you where our exact location is so that we can meet up, have a chat. There are places like Walla Walla in Tanjong Pagar GRC that is shutting down. It's even published on the street sign. So we will be going to these places to talk to residents on what are their future plans, etc. Thank you for all of you for waking up early in the morning.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.